So there we go. Once again, we're back. A little technical issue, but everything is fine once again. Either way, going back to what I was talking about now, this is a very important side of things. We were talking about the basketball, the uh, girls soccer. 31-5A to be exact this time, and this is what was very exciting for the whole thing. Um, Friday, March 7th, McAllen Memorial on their senior day. So we'll update you all with that. They won 12 goals to nil over PSJ North. Nicky Rowe won 1 goal to nil over Sherryland Pioneer. And Edinburgh Villa won 4-0 over Sherryland High School. Mac High won 6-0 over PSJ Memorial. PSJ Southwest had the bye. Now, this past Tuesday, Sherryland Pioneer won 4-0 over PSJ Southwest. Edinburgh Villa won 1-0 over Nicky Rowe. That was a big victory in the grand scheme of things. 3-0 for Sherryland High over PSJ Memorial. Mac High wins 4 goals to nil over PSJ North. McAllen Memorial had the bye. What does that mean for the whole entire standings? Well, McAllen Memorial 15-0 already have one district. They are district champions, and Mac High officially had clinched a playoff berth as well with 38 points in second place. So 45 points for McAllen Memorial, Mac High with 38 points. McAllen Memorial had clinched district officially after the Tuesday match a week ago, which was pretty interesting as well due to McAllen High School dropping a point against Edinburgh Villa, and that's exactly the reason why. We had talked about it last show, and now we go back to this week, and, well, you see what the thing is. Edinburgh Villa now sneak into third position 28 points with a goal differential of 29. That's kind of your difference maker here because Sherryland Pioneer tied with 28 points but only have a goal differential of +9. Then you look at it from the side of things. Sherryland Pioneer have played 16 matches. They are finished with their season, so they have to sit and wait, literally, because Nicky Rowe are on the outside looking in with 5 points. Who do Nicky Rowe play this Friday? This is a big game in general. This Friday, McAllen Rowe will play PSJ Memorial. That is almost a guaranteed victory. They would get 3 points and make the playoffs, and Sherryland Pioneer, after holding firm in second position for just about the whole entire season, will most likely miss the playoffs. Now, that is not a guarantee because you still have to play the match, but let's look at where PSJA Memorial is. PSJ Memorial, last place. They do have a victory this season, 3 points. So that is where things stand. If PSJ Memorial can make the largest upset we have seen in recent memory in 31-5A girls soccer, we will be talking about that match for a long time. And that is the match that everyone will want to be at for the tone, especially for Sherryland Pioneer, just due to that fact alone. Sherryland Pioneer hold a playoff spot for the time being, not clinched at all. Edinburgh Villa, same deal, but they will be safe more than anything, as they would get the 4 seed if Nicky Rowe wins. That is just literally exactly what needs to happen. If a draw happens, this is a different story. And Nicky Rowe, of course, would get 28 points, but they'd have to win the shootout and still be able to at least advance, yes, back into third place, like we mentioned, and still kick out Sherryland Pioneer. There are multiple ways that Nicky Rowe can make the playoffs no matter what, as well as, well, let's see if they get 1 point. Their goal differential is 26 points. That doesn't look viable, but the head-to-head is a different story. Edinburgh Villa, once again, like we mentioned, played against Nicky Rowe not too long ago, and for, let's see here real quick, Edinburgh Vela were able to defeat Nicky Rowe 1-0 in regulation. That was a big 3 points. So that was a victory. So it looks like Edinburgh Villa may have the advantage on that home front. The first round of playoffs was indeed the... Making sure, yes. Believe it was indeed the same way. Check that, I believe Nicky Rowe ended up winning the first time they played against each other. Yes, they won 3-0 the first time they played against each other. So they shared. It goes half-half. It goes in a goal differential. And still, Edinburgh Villa would have the advantage on that, especially if they were to draw and they would lose, and Nicky Rowe would lose the penalty shootout. Now, if Nicky Rowe wins the penalty shootout, they advance off of points, and they'd get the third spot. They'd make the playoffs, and that would be your teams. Would be McCall Memorial, Mackay, Nicky Rowe, and Edinburgh Villa, the four that you would sort of expect to make it. The outliers, of course, were always going to be Sherryland High School, just a poor start to the season they could never recover from. Pioneer High School struggled in the late goings of this season, unfortunately. And that stinks for this team. They deserved to make the playoffs, but again, at the end of the season, they just could not win the matches that they needed to. Losing Tuesday, March 4th to Sherryland High School, that is 3 points that they definitely wish that they could have gotten back. Sherryland High School swept Sherryland Pioneer this season. Sherryland Pioneer dropped 6 points against their rivals, Sherryland High School, that finished in 6th position in the standings. Check that. Finished in 6th position in the standings with 18 points. Well, they could technically have 21 points by the end of the season, but still 27-21. That is your, real difference. Or 28-21 to be exact, if Pioneer moved down. Really, if anything can be taken away from Sherryland High School and the girls' soccer and the Lady Rattlers girls' soccer season, they played spoiler to a T, because it is down to literally fate. It is out of Pioneer's hands to make the playoffs. It is in Nicky Rowe's hands to make the playoffs in girls' soccer. Absolutely outstanding. Again, your teams that will most likely make the playoffs are right now that are in the playoff position. This is subject to change with Friday being the last match day. Cal Memorial, Mackay, Edinburgh Fella, Sherryland Pioneer. This is the best part about this. Nicky Rowe on the outside looking in. All 5 teams will be playing, well, really all 8 teams will be playing simultaneously. This has not happened recently, meaning last season and seasons before then, you'd have this be spring break and for McAllen schools and other schools, and so you would have Sherryland play or Pioneer play McAllen Memorial at like 10 a.m. or something like that, or 9 a.m. It would be like 9 and 11 a.m. to be exact, would be the 2 matches. So that is the wildest part, is for the first time you have all matches at 6 p.m. played simultaneously, just like a true final match day of a season, where no collusion can potentially happen. But I don't believe that's the reason why they did it. It just happened to be that way, And those are your 5 teams. Still, 2 slots have been officially secured. McAllen Memorial, they win district. They get the 1 seed. Mac High get the 2 seed. 3 seed is still up for grabs. 4 seed is still up for grabs. Moving on, though. An exciting part for this. 31-5A boys soccer. What can we tell you all about 31-5A boys soccer? It's kind of been the same as the girls soccer season, but just a little bit different. Let's update you all on who played who these past Friday matches and Tuesday matches. McAllen Memorial wins 3-1 over PSJ North. Sherryland High School wins 5-3 over Brownsville. Sherryland Pioneer win in a PK shootout over Nicky Rowe, so they will have 2 points. Nicky Rowe do survive with 1 point, though. PSJ Memorial win 3-0 over Mac High. PSJ Southwest had a bye. That was game 16 on Friday, March 7th. Now, Tuesday, March 11th, last night's matches, how did those end? Edinburgh-Villa 2, Nicky Rowe 1. Sherryland Pioneer 4, PSJ Southwest 1. Sherryland High School 4, PSJ Memorial 0. Mac High 2, PSJ North 2. They both shared a point, and then in the PK shootout, Mac High do end up getting the extra point. They have 2 points from that match, and PSJ North get 1 point. Game 18, for your Game 18s, of course, Mac High, McAllen Memorial, PSJ Southwest, Edinburgh-Villa, Nicky Rowe, PSJ Memorial, Sherryland High, and PSJ North for your final matches. Now let's go back over here. What does the standings look like for that? Well, your district champs are officially Sherryland High School. They win with 42 points, and then Sherryland Pioneer qualify in the 2 seed. McAllen Memorial have officially qualified in the 3 seed as well, and Mac High and Nicky Rowe still have a chance to qualify, but it's going to take time. Now, for McAllen Memorial, what do they want to do? Because they've qualified, they have the 3 seed. Their bye week was yesterday, and now they play against Mac High this Friday. Does that rivalry come into play? Last time these 2 teams played against each other, they went into PK shootout. If that were to happen, McAllen High School would get 1 point, McAllen Memorial would get 1 point, and then McAllen Memorial, one last time, if they do that, they'd have, 31, and it will be 31-28, and Nicky Rowe would win. If Nicky Rowe were to win that game, their game, they would have 28. I think it would come to goal differential. It would depend on that, as well as what has the head-to-head been like. The head-to-head for that exactly was, well, Nicky Rowe, I don't believe ended up beating Mac High. I'm just trying to make sure that that is the case. I believe that's exactly what ended up happening. So either way, what I'm trying to say here is that Mac High may miss the playoffs, but also Nicky Rowe, they still have an outside chance of making the playoffs, and that's why I'm saying this. But Nicky Rowe really might miss the playoffs this year, which is unfortunate, and it happens. Not the biggest thing, but either way, going back to it, that is your 31-5A, District 31-5A update. Now on to the District 32-5A update for you all here, coming into their final match day as well. They could have potentially finished already, but we will make sure and tell you all exactly. And indeed, they have already finished up their regular season. They get about a week off before advancing into by-district playoffs, as all the rest of the by-districts will finish off their season, or all the rest of their districts will finish off their season. we talked about 31-5A, now 32-5A. This starting off with the girls. Well, Friday and Tuesday, how did those fare out? Brownsville Rivera wins 7-0 over Brownsville Pace. Brownsville Lopez won 1-0 over Mercedes. And then Donna North wins 6-1 over Wesco East, 1-0 for Harlingen South over Brownsville Porter. 4-1 over Donna High School for Ed Couch also winning. Now on Tuesday, March 11th, the game 18, the final matches of the season. How did those fare out? Brownsville Pace win 3-2 over Mercedes. Couch also win 3-0 over Brownsville Porter. Brownsville Rivera win 5-0 over Wesco East. Harlingen South 4-0 over Donna North, and Brownsville Lopez win 2-1 over Donna High School. So how does that fare out? Harlingen South are your district champions with 53 points, going 17-0-1. What does that mean? They lost. They win one. Yes, they won the shootout. They won a PK shootout that they had to play in. Ed Couch Elsa clinch the 2 seed. Brownsville Lopez will clinch the 3 seed. And Donna North will get the final spot, eliminating Brownsville Rivera, Donna High, Brownsville Porter, Wesco East, Brownsville Pace, and Mercedes from playoff contention. Your 4 once again are Harlingen South, Ed Couch Elsa, Brownsville Lopez, and Donna North making the playoffs on the 32-5A girls soccer side. Now on to the boys side. District 32-5A. This is the exciting part once again. Going back to the last 2 matches this last season. Game number 17, Friday, March 7th, Brownsville Rivera, Harlingen South. Well, Brownsville Rivera beat Brownsville Pace 2-0. Harlingen South beat Brownsville Porter 2-1. Brownsville Lopez win 9-0 over Mercedes. Donna North 5-2 over Wesco East. Donna High win in a shootout over Ed Couch Elsa. On Tuesday, March 11th, it was Brownsville Lopez with a astounding 6-0 over Donna High School. Brownsville Pace win 5-0 over Mercedes. Brownsville Rivera 5-0 over Wesco East. Brownsville Porter 5-2 over Ed Couch Elsa. Harlingen South win 3-2 over Donna North. This is the interesting part. We don't know how good all these sides are because they haven't played against anyone else outside of this district, but it's going to be very interesting in my eyes. Brownsville Lopez with that, of course, district champs with 51 points. Harlingen South with 44 points. They clinch the 2nd seed. Brownsville Porter will clinch the 3rd, and Brownsville Rivera with the 4th seed, eliminating Brownsville Pace, Donna North, Donna High School, Wesco East, Ed Couch Elsa, and Mercedes. Very exciting stuff once again. And all of a sudden, it's your top 4. Brownsville Lopez, Harlingen South, Brownsville Porter, and Brownsville Rivera. What does that mean? Well, we mentioned the other 4 before, but we'll just make sure on that. Brownsville Lopez will play the 4 seed in 31-5A. Harlingen South will play the 3 seed in 31-5A. Brownsville Porter will play the 2 seed in 31-5A. And Brownsville Rivera will play the 1 seed, Sherryland, in by-district playoffs in the first round. Where will those be played at? We don't know. Especially for Brownsville Rivera, most likely that one will be a coin flip because neither side will truly want to travel to either place. Brownsville Rivera, way out there in general, in Brownsville, from just on the outskirts of McAllen, Texas. That's where Sherryland High School is located. For example, it would take myself closer to, because of the toll road, over an hour to get over here. That's fine. But through bus, with a bus, I would say that's probably going to be hour 15, hour 20, closer to how much it would take you to get to South Padre Island by car from the upper valley of McAllen. My point is they will either decide to play halfway, maybe at Tiger Stadium or somewhere like that. Who knows? Like I mentioned, Brownsville Porter, of course, playing a hefty 2 seed, which will be exciting. I believe the 2 seed will be Brownsville. Check that, not Brownsville. But the 2 seed being Pioneer. And then the 3 seed being McAllen Memorial would play Harlingen South. You could probably give that match to Harlingen South already. And then, again, 1 seed versus 4 seed. Still up for grabs. Could be Mackay, could be Nicky Rowe. I would see Brownsville Lopez easily walking to the second round with no problem whatsoever. I don't expect them to really have any trouble until the regional quarters, where they could either play somebody from their district or potentially meet up with another District 31 5A foe that could be potentially, well, who knows who it could potentially be. Again, this is how dangerous this district will be. I expect both 1 seeds to make it to the regional semis, but I'm not certain. And then both of those 1 seeds should play against each other, I believe, in the regional finals. That's a whole thing. Again, it's been in Brownsville for 2 years. I don't believe it will be back in Brownsville this year. I believe it will either go to San Antonio and or Corpus for the regional semis and finals. But enough about that. We're just about to hit half an hour. When we return, we'll be talking a little more soccer, but it's something very interesting that I'll bring up, and then we'll go to March Madness talk. We are back after this. I'm Jacob Young. This is Fruia Sports Live Network here at Luke Fruia Motors. Don't go anywhere.
Have a finger-licking good time at the South Padre Island Crawfish Festival, happening April 12th at the South Padre Island Convention Center. Immerse yourself in crawfish heaven as you taste traditional boils and innovative twists on this Louisiana specialty. Let the good times roll with live music from Morgan Wallen Tribute Band 7 Summers. There'll be plenty of fun for the whole family, and oh yeah, plenty of crawfish. It's the South Padre Island Crawfish Festival.
Elevation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. Fruia GMC, we're professional grade.
Are you looking for a new place on South Padre Island? How about Starney's Hot Dogs and More? These dogs are delicious, and they're made the way you want to order. A new place on South Padre, Starney's Hot Dogs and More. Stop by today.
This is our home. Take a look at what we do.
Sunny Glen Children's Home has provided a place of hope for every child since 1936. If you'd like more information on Sunny Glen and the services we offer, please visit us at www.sunnyglen.org.
South Padre Island. Enjoy endless activities for all ages. Then dance the night away with live music, savor fresh seafood, and discover unique food trucks and shop our charming boutiques. What are you waiting for? Escape the everyday at South Padre Island.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
When you study local at Texas Southmost College, you can choose from over 50 associate degree programs, certificates, and workforce training programs, all at the most affordable cost in the Rio Grande Valley. Transfer your TSC credits to a university or start a new career, like Kat Gomez, who graduated from TSC and is now patrolling the streets of Brownsville and serving her community. Register now at tsc.edu/register and study local at Texas Southmost College.
Time to take a new look, maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable's for you, Buick's your brand. Fruia Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
Back we go once again here, and now, of course, switching a bit, which is always going to be fun, because this is a big one to talk about. Again, we're here at Luke Fruia Motors, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. If you're in the market for a new car, come visit Buick, GMC, and Cadillac at Luke Fruia Motors. It is in Brownsville, Texas, and again here on a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Wednesday. A little wind before, of course, it gets tremendously hot, as we will quickly wait and see. I'll give you all exactly what this weather is going to go to. 84 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It feels like 85 with the winds doing all right. 77 degrees Fahrenheit this evening at sunset. At 7:37 p.m. is when it's expected for sunset, and 74, 72 throughout the night. It's only going to get cooler. Either way, what is it going to be like this week? For the rest of this week, I should say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Your Thursday, 92-69. Friday, 95-68. Saturday will get a little cooler at 89-59. Sunday, 84-53. It starts to get more tolerable, 83-62. And Tuesday, 84-68 with some strong winds. So, again, only going to get hotter. Again, this is on Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. That's, of course, that weather forecast for this day exactly. I know you can watch it on demand and things like that, so that's why I decided to talk about it. Anyways, moving on, like we mentioned, like we talked about, this is a big thing. Not too long ago, it was kind of in talks, was closer to this December. And Harlingen decided a while back, really they had some investors, I guess, come up and say, hey, look, this is a plan, would this work? And they said, sure. It is to make a semi-professional soccer team in Harlingen. They are making a soccer-specific stadium in Harlingen off of an old baseball field, and it's kind of cool. It's, for starters, of course, I was very skeptical because of the fact of how bad it's been for soccer in the RGV. You'd think, oh, it would be amazing. The professional teams, we'd get a professional team, semi-pro team, and they would be successful. No, it's not how any of that works. The MPSL team in Brownsville, they've shut down at least 3 times. They've rebranded at least 4 times. Then, of course, you have the now deceased recently, 2 years ago, RGVFC Toros, who became a club in 2016. And yeah, they became a club in 2016. That first year was amazing. They were a part of the Houston Dynamo club. They were their development team in a way, and that was run by management of Houston Dynamo for a while, and then they parted ways with the Houston Dynamo, and Alonso Cantu took over fully and saw that they were losing money completely, and sure enough, the cap just shrunk tremendously constantly, and then Coach Wilmer Cabrera did not come back. They were losing players left and right, and then shut down in December of 2023. Yes, around that time, shutting down in 2023 or 2022. I believe it might have been December 2022. Either way. Very unfortunate, very upsetting for just the way that it ended up happening in general. And sure enough, that was the last that we would see of a professional soccer team in the RGV for a while. Well, fast forward to this year, really, all of a sudden there was this talks of getting a professional soccer team, a semi-pro soccer team to be exact. And so they've been talked about a little bit. But it's finally kind of coming up into, not fruition, but it's being talked about. They had their press release day a couple of days ago. I had some sources that ended up going to that exactly, and stay tuned for a lot of news for that particularly. I don't expect Rio Sports Live Network to be a part of any of the broadcast for that. I do expect it to be an in-house broadcast, just like the Toros were when they were on ESPN Plus. I expect it to be something like that. Very exciting for that side of things. But anyways, it's just a lot that ended up happening. The team's official name will be called the Rio Grande Valley Red Crows. Check that. Rio Grande Valley Red Crowns. So, based in Harlingen, Texas, Rio Grande Valley Red Crowns. It's a very cool reasoning of why the mascot will be that, why the team is named that. It's a bird in the RGV that is very particular to the RGV, which is very neat in general. I love when it's something of that sort and can work, and it's interesting because I've been to my fair share of being able to cover these teams, these local affiliate teams, or these local teams that are semi-pro or technically professional, from the Toros to the Explorers in Brownsville, to also an MASL team that was here for a while, the Major Arena Soccer League team. They ended up going to Monterrey, Mexico, which made perfect sense because, well, let me be frank, at the Paynado Arena, there was basically no one that would show up. And you'd look at the Major Arena Soccer League, you'd look at everywhere else, and they'd pack in 10, 15K for Major Arena Soccer League around the league. So it just was not working in Hidalgo. But like I said, that was failed very quickly. And the management didn't seem to really care. You go again with the Toros, and the way that it seemed the front office did not care as much. The marketing was not there. things like that. It just didn't, it felt so, they were out of touch with how they needed to, in a way, run it. Enter in this, all the interviews that I've heard, and, you know, him talking, and we have a couple of even, from KRGV and ValleyCentral.com. Of course, we'll read or I'll try to bring up the quotes that were from 19, but from, I guess, 19 hours ago, which was pretty cool. Semi-pro soccer team, our GV Red Crows Soccer Club, is preparing to take over a baseball diamond and revitalize it into a soccer field. The city of Harlingen and the team are working together to bring back a community hub and a promising future for young athletes. So yes, this is a stepping stone into that chance. But the president, Jamal Fayed, said the team is ready to make a beloved Harlingen ballpark its new home. I see a future as the city workers. Oh yeah, I see a future. That's what he said. Fayed said. I'm excited because when we told people we were playing here again, we were talking about the educated fan base. They said soccer does not belong in a baseball field. Which there's funny. And I have a lot to say just on that quote alone. Soccer does not belong on a baseball field. It's 1,000% correct. That is why it's being changed into a soccer-specific stadium. I've followed soccer just about all my life. And one of the coolest things that I can tell you, only the best teams have won championships on baseball or on former baseball fields. Portland Timbers in the Major League Soccer, that used to be the NASL back then, they were on a former baseball field. 2015-16, they win the championship on a soccer-specific stadium, Providence Park. It's been home to them forever. They've kept that atmosphere. It's absolutely beautiful. Here's where things get even better. Tampa Bay Rowdies made a soccer-specific stadium from a baseball field. They've won multiple championships in the USL Championship. Only the best of the best really come from baseball fields. Occasionally you'll have others. I forgot about one. New York City FC. Where do they play their home games? Yankee Stadium. They won a championship against the Portland Timbers, but they played their home matches and playoff matches at Yankee Stadium. Isn't that wild? Again, champions have come from former baseball fields. That's all I got to say on that. It's very exciting. If you've Red Crown Soccer Club is preparing to take over baseball diamond. Yep, that's all that they're really talking about. Anyways, point is, look out for more news from that, from the club especially, and news from what it's going to be like for that to all happen. Season will start around mid-May. I've been told that from my sources, so around May you should expect to see pre-match shows, or not pre-match, but you should see friendlies, and all that fun stuff. And just stay tuned for who the announcing team might be as well. Because honestly, now the way that it seems a lot different, and it seems like it's going to be pushed more by the fans, and it's going to be pushed more by the president. That just seems like and the owner that just cares more. It's what it seems like. Politics can somehow stay away from that and not make it into a business. I think this will thrive fully. Anyways, we'll take a quick break. When we return, it's going to be the last thing that we will talk about this afternoon, and that is your March Madness, who is in, who is out, and who legitimately has to win their tournament in order to make it from the top 5 or from the Power 5 conferences. We are back after this. Stay tuned.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
My son Leo just graduated from high school, but also with his associate degree from Texas Southmost College at no cost at all. Not having that financial burden was so helpful to our family. That's 2 years we did not have to pay for.
All of my TSC credits transferred to UTRGV, and I am so grateful to go into my major debt-free.
At Marine Military Academy, we educate those who dare to achieve. Those eager to control their future before it controls them. Those who can follow a path so they can eventually make their own. Those ready to join in order to stand out. Welcome to MMA, forging tomorrow's leaders.
South Padre Island. Enjoy endless activities for all ages. Then dance the night away with live music, savor fresh seafood, and discover unique food trucks and shop our charming boutiques. What are you waiting for? Escape the everyday at South Padre Island.
Graduation time. Time to make some decisions. What's next? Can I afford to continue my education? What are my options? At Brownsville ISD Career and Technical Education, you can graduate from high school with a certificate and or license ready to go to work. Debt-free. We have a wide range of programs for every student, ranging from audiovisual, law enforcement, STEM robotics, electrical, welding, pharmacy, patient care tech, and many more to choose from. That's why Brownsville ISD.
Back we go once again here. Very exciting stuff. And we get back to this part here at Luke Fruia Motors, talking sports. And one of the biggest things to, well, really talk about, because it's going on right now, it's Championship Week for March Madness. Who's in, who's out, who has to win their tournament. Simple as that. All the mid-major tournaments are basically done and dusted. At least by today, we'll have mainly all of those officially done. Maybe some mid-major conferences will still play this weekend, but there's not a lot that are still to be figured out by. Anyways, another season, another year, and both the men's and women's teams for UTRGV, men's and women's basketball, will miss the dance. They did not win their conference tournament. They did not have a net of anything positive for who they played, anything like that, and so they were a long shot, as always, to make it, but I don't even think UTRGV men's basketball made their conference tournament in general. The women in the first round, they looked like they could be a top 3 team potentially making it to the final to have a chance, to at least have a shot. They lose to Nichols by 2 in the first round, unfortunately. So that is your RGV update on that, at least. Now let's look at the major conferences. For the ACC, it's looking more and more like 3 locks, 3 total, 3 bubble. Duke as a 1 seed, number 2 overall. Clemson as a 4 seed, number 16 overall. Louisville as a 7 seed, number 28 overall. North Carolina would be a first four out, is what it's looking like right now. As a number 70 overall. Wake Forest next 4 out at number 74 overall. And SMU considered number 78 overall. Big 12, 7 locks right now, 1 likely, 8 total, 1 bubble. Houston as a 1 seed right now, they'd be the number 3 overall. Texas Tech, 2 seed, number 8 overall. Iowa State would be a 3 seed at number 12 overall. Arizona as a 5 seed at number 17 overall. BYU a 6 seed, number 23 overall. Kansas a 6 seed, number 24 overall. West Virginia number 9 seed, number 36 overall. Baylor, they're still, they have a likely odd to make it. Baylor as a 10 seed, number 38 overall. They have a likely chance. Cincinnati would be the next 4 out at number 76 overall. Remember, 68 teams get into the tournament. Auburn looking like the number 1 seed and the 1 overall. Florida as a 1 seed, number 4 overall. Alabama as a 2 seed, number 5 overall. Tennessee as a 1 seed, number 6 overall. Kentucky as a 3 seed, number 9 overall. Texas A&M 3 seed, number 11 overall. Ole Miss 7 seed as number 25 overall. Missouri, a 7 seed, is number 27 overall. Mississippi State, a 9 seed, number 33 overall. Georgia, 9 seed, number 35 overall. Vanderbilt, a 10 seed, number 37 overall. Arkansas, a 10 seed with good odds to make the tournament still, as number 39 overall. Last 4 in could potentially be Oklahoma. So those are all your buys, the likely odds. But then you go to Oklahoma, your last 4 in is what it looks like, number 43 overall. They beat Texas to really take that spot. Texas would be your first 4 out at number 71 overall. So, yeah, they'd miss the tournament by at least 3 to 4 spots. Of course, you want to make it without having to play any play-in games, but that's what it's looking like right now. And yes, Texas does not in any way, shape, or form have the odds. They will literally have to beat top teams. They will literally have to win the whole entire tournament. I don't expect committees, and this is a big thing, because in the past years this is what they've been doing. I don't expect the committees to be looking at the conference tournament and saying, oh, this team went on a run, they'll make it. Because Texas A&M did that a couple of years ago and still missed the tournament. I believe in 2022, either 21 or 22 spring break, they missed the tournament, which was very, very upsetting, just in general because of how it all happened. Anyways, going to the NIT tournament is not the worst thing in the world, but for a program like Texas, considering that their women's basketball program will probably be the number 1 overall seed, if not the number 2 overall seed, meaning they will still have a 1 seed because South Carolina will take the number 1 overall seed. And then you go to this. It's very disappointingly unfortunate. And yes, the money comes from football, but that second portion of the money, you still want that NIL. You still want to have a thriving program that makes the tournament every single year in the NCAA tournament. More TV time, more all that. And so they're going to miss the tournament, which is just, it's crazy. It's wild. It's something that you wouldn't expect. Anyways, that's what we have for you all there. And then, of course, the same thing here. Well, Arkansas looks like, yeah, it would looks like I was a little wrong. Committees will be taking just a little bit more. Because this is, of course, coming from Joe Lenardi, so it's not official, but he's an expert, and most of the experts would be saying the same thing. Win and into SEC on the SEC Network at 1 p.m. Arkansas, the Hogs would be very safe, if not already with a win over South Carolina. They beat South Carolina, they're in for sure. Baylor Bears, how about them in the Big 12 tournament? Tonight, the Bears are also on the safe side of things, but another win erases all the doubt. Very true. SEC Network, 9:30 p.m., same deal. Oklahoma Sooners are a good bet regardless, but this game puts them over the top. Out without. Cincinnati, next 4 out. Bearcats are done without a win over Iowa State, which, again, Iowa State is one of the top teams. It's looking like they will not be in the tournament for sure. North Carolina, first 4 out. Tar Heels must advance to keep their hopes alive. The ACC tournament it's not great. Or what I mean is the ACC this year is not amazing. So literally North Carolina has to win it all. That's basically what Joe Lenardi's saying. For Texas at 3:30 p.m. on the SEC Network. So I believe they're actually playing right now. First 4 out, Longhorns will be out of chances if they suffer another loss. Simple. Big Ten, Ohio State, last team in. Buckeyes will be passed at some point if they lose tonight. All these are true. This was 5 hours ago, of course, from him. Again, your 1 seed, your overall 1 seed would be Auburn. Your 4th 1 seed would be Florida. Your 2nd 1 seed would be Duke. And your 3rd 1 seed would be Houston, is what it seemed like. Midwest, East, West, South, top seeds. But the likely thing seemed to be changed. Your 2 seeds, Michigan State, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Alabama. And your 3 seeds would be St. John's, Iowa State, Kentucky, Texas A&M. Your 4 seeds would be Clemson, Purdue, Maryland, Wisconsin. Last 4 in, we talked about it once again. Your last 4 buys, actually. Let's go with that. Utah State, Arkansas, Baylor, and San Diego State. Your last 4 in would be Oklahoma, Indiana, and Xavier, Ohio State. Of course, this can all change tonight. Boise State, North Carolina, Texas, Colorado State, and would be your first 4 out. Your next 4 out would be Dayton, Wake Forest, UC Irvine, and Cincinnati. Villanova, SMU, North Texas, and San Francisco would be next. Multi-bid conferences would be the SEC with 13, Big 10 with 10, Big 12 with 8, Big East with 5, Mountain West with 3, ACC with 3, and West Coast Conference with 2. Notice how I didn't say the ACC. Check that, I did say the ACC. But with 3, which is very shocking because normally you would have the ACC have at least 5 to 7 teams go in. You would include, of course, your North Carolina, your Duke, your Blue Bloods, all of them. Your Purdue, well, Purdue's actually Big 10, but you get what I'm saying. You'd have your Miami, you have all these teams normally making it to the dance, and this year there's 3. And no North Carolina, which happens every once in a while, but they've been on the rebound for a while ever since, of course, their great coach retired. So we'll wait and see how that all plays out. I don't expect any of those bubble teams to really make it. Let's even tell you all right now if I can get some scores for you guys and girls listening right now and watching right now. Vanderbilt, of course, have been a team that's been under the radar. That game, of course, just tipping off not too long ago. Of course, the other game went long. So it's 5-3 your score. Vanderbilt leads very early on in this one. And that's a game that's a must-win for Texas. They lose, they are out for sure. Vanderbilt, of course, I would expect them to win. North Carolina, of course, they need to advance against against their side. They do lead 53-34 against Notre Dame. So they will, most likely, if they can keep that up, advance. So that is your update for all those games for you all once again. So just about going to do it for us here from Luke Fruia Motors. I've been Jacob Young. This has been a Real Sports Live presentation. And it was a very fun and informative show once again. That's what I like to do. I like to inform people. That is what I make this talk show really about, trying to get some guests on as well as always fun. But right now, in the swing of things,